Okay, welcome everyone. This is Maggie. Maggie, do you want to introduce yourself? You're gonna. You want to tell? How old are you? Are you 1, 2, 3?
4.
Oh, how many is 4?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, she just turned 4, so she's 4. And let's see, what else is important for them to know about you?
I'm a little sister.
She's a little sister. You'll get to meet her big brother in a moment.
Big brother.
You do. Sit up so everyone can see you. You do have a big brother. Maggie is definitely a pandemic kiddo, and so she's never been in formal childcare, but she starts pre-K next year, and she's excited about it, or she starts pre-K in August. We're going to do some games, okay? Okay. I'm not sure how the recording is going to work, but the way I see it, your video is big and ours is small, and I cannot. Oh, wait. Here we go. Never mind. I fixed it. We should be big for the recording. I was going to say, normally I love when people have their cameras on. You can turn it back on. I figured out how to pin me. So if you want to stay on, Maggie likes an audience. So, okay. So we're going to kind of go through the worksheet. And for the worksheet, what I want you to do is just kind of make notes. Did the child do it? Did they not do it? Did they do something else? Just kind of, it's your reflections. It doesn't normal or really long. It's just a place for you to record what you saw. So the first thing we're going to do is a couple of tests of conservation. So there's a couple of different kinds of conservation. There's conservation of number, liquid, mass. And so we'll try a couple of them and just see how she does. She's in the pre-operational stage, kind of mid pre-operational stage. So we wouldn't really expect her to pass these, but it's fun to kind of see what it looks like, and you'll get to see Thomas as a contrast. So put this down so we can see. So I'm going to line these up. What are these, Maggie? This is her favorite trick. She knows all the songs from her virtual preschool. She doesn't always know the answer, but she knows the song, so she'll just sing the song. Okay, so we've got these pennies laid out. Maggie, does this row have more, or does this row have more, or are they about the same? They're about the same. So I'm going to do this. Now, does this row have more? Does this row have more, or are they about the same?
This one have more.
Okay, so you see that she failed the conservation task, right? Same number. She watched me move them, and yet she said that the row that was spread out more had more. So that's a classic kind of failing the conservation task. Now, Maggie, can you show them how you count, and can you count these pennies?
Okay. 1, 2, and I lined them up for me to count.
Okay. All right, count them.
And then count 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, so you got to see some of her fine motor skills. She's a little bit awkward, but she did good, and she did really well with counting that time. Sometimes she skips numbers. She's starting to really grasp the concept that one item goes with each number. Even a couple months ago, she was just kind of generally pointing when she was counting.
Yeah, everyone might count snowman.
Oh, you made a snowman. Okay. Oops, here, do it again and we'll show them your snowman.
Ta-da!
There you go.
I'm not done.
Okay, well, we've got lots of other games, okay? So
Ta-da!
One of Maggie's favorite activities is lining things up. That was not Thomas's favorite activity, so different kids like different things. And I know some of you have your own kids, so this is not new, but especially for people who don't have as much experience with kids, it's fun to kind of see how they operate. All right, let's do liquid conservation next. So I've got these 2 Tupperware containers, and then this is just water with food coloring just so you can see it a little bit better. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour the water in each container. All right. Sit down on your bottom. All right. Does this one have more? Does this one have more, or are they about the same?
About the same.
All right. So they're about the same. I'm going to put this one into a different container. Does this one have more? Does this one have more, or are they about the same?
This one has more.
This one has more. Okay, so again, she didn't pass the conservation task. It's not necessarily the way you would have expected. Generally, the higher one gets rated as more, but clearly she doesn't have that concept of the idea that she watched it being poured from one container to another, and yet still says they're different. Let's put them both back in here. Okay, so she failed the liquid conservation task, again, as we would expect for a young 4-year-old or even an old 4-year-old. Okay, the last conservation task is math. So we've got some Play-Doh here. All right, let's see. Okay, Maggie. Does this one have more? Does this one about the same?
About the same.
All right. Hang on, let me have them. And now I'm going to change the shape. Okay, now. Does this one have more? Does this one have more, or are they about the same?
This one has more.
That one has more. Okay, so very clearly, definitely doesn't have conservation.
Well,
all right.
And then play with the Play-Doh.
Well, we can play with the Play-Doh after, okay? We've got a couple more games for you to do. Yep, put them both back in.
Like this.
All right. So, let's see. So no conservation. Next one is egocentrism. Okay, so we're going to test. We're going to essentially do, I think I posted a video for you of the 3-mountain task. I don't have mountains, but we're going to try to do something. We're going to have this little barrier here. Okay, you're going to sit on your side and I'm going to sit on my side. And we've got some toys. All right. So Maggie, tell me, what do you see?
A goat, a whale, a bunny, a pig.
All right. Now we're going to switch seats real quick. Or why don't you just come over now? Here, let's switch seats. Whoop. Okay. Now, what do you see now?
Okay, a unicorn, a walrus.
Oh, now staying on your side, what do you think I see? Now, what do you think I see?
A walrus, a goat, a car.
All right. So, she kind of, you can see she's kind of starting to get this task. So she wanted to, when I asked her what I saw, she wanted to come over and get my perspective. So she kind of is starting to maybe have this skill and not be as egocentric. But when I made her stay on her side, she couldn't mentally put herself in my place, which is a great example of that pre-operations. All right, let's switch back so I can reach my stuff. All right. Okay. Next one is theory of mind. Okay. So I have this container. What do you think is in this container? What's in it? What comes in this container?
Like chips.
Yeah, what are those chips called? Chips. Okay. I thought that this would be a no-brainer. Okay, why don't you open it up and see what's inside? Yep. Pour it out so they can see what's inside. Markers. That's so silly. So what did you think was in here before you opened it? Okay, so you thought it was chips. Now, Thomas is outside playing with Dad. What is he going to think is in this container?
A bottle.
A bottle. What do you think he's gonna think when he sees this container? What is he gonna think is in there?
Whiskey.
You're being silly. What is Thomas going to think when I show him this? What's he going to say is in there? Markers. All right. So, great example. Failed the theory of mind task 2, which again, she's kind of getting to the point where she should be there soon. Normally, most kids get there at around 4, and she's a pretty young 4. But what she said, she knows there's markers in here. Thomas is in the other room. He doesn't have the information. And so when I asked her, when I finally got an answer, when I asked her what he's going to think is in there, she said markers. She assumes that he has the same mental information that she does. Awesome. Okay. One more task. No, you can play with those later. Where did my book go? Okay. Maggie can't read. You wouldn't expect her to be able to read. I'm going to have Thomas read this to you, but I just wanted to see, can you read them some of this book?
I don't know.
Can you recognize some of the letters on the cover? Sit up. All right, should we go get?
Oh, and what I want you to.
Well, I'll read it to you later, or Thomas will read it to you later. I just wanted to see, can you find any letters on there? Can you find a C? She does not want to cooperate, which is fine. So she knows some letters. She knows some letter sounds. She doesn't know a ton. Definitely can't read, which we wouldn't expect her to. All right. Next one. Okay. So, and you saw her counting. Again, she did really well with counting to 10. Hey, can you count? Oh, can you count to 20?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Can you count to 20? What comes after 10?
20.
11.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
Good job. Good job. You did great. So I think the thing is Thomas couldn't count to 20 until he was in kindergarten. He just couldn't get the teens right. Maggie obviously does not really have it down either, but because she's heard Thomas doing a lot of counting, she actually is way farther along in terms of her numbers than he is, even if she's clearly just kind of Okay, so next one is the marshmallow task. So here's the deal. I'm going to give you one marshmallow now, okay, and you can save it, and you'll get 2 later on, or you can eat it now and just have 1. Okay. All right, here you go. You decide. If you wait, you'll get 2. Okay, so we're going to just talk while we kind of see how she waits, note her kind of the strategies she uses to regulate emotion. Does anyone have any questions as we're killing some time here? You're welcome to put questions in the chat as well, if you have any. One question that I get often is like, well, your kids are developmental psychologist children. They've probably done these tasks before. You know, has that influenced them? And I mean, I think it's definitely possible. They're definitely kind of familiar with these tasks, but we don't sit down and practice them at home. So they've done the marshmallow test before, but I don't make them sit and wait for their food. So let's see, any other questions for me or for Maggie?
Right.
Are you waiting?
Yeah, but can I eat?
A couple more minutes. So this is, I don't know if we've even been through a full minute. In the actual marshmallow task, they make them wait 15 minutes. So that's a really long time for a 4-year-old. And you can see touching, and she's having a hard time keeping her hands off of it, but she's doing really well. Just a few months ago, she did not wait at all. And it's interesting, again, to see the contrast in the temperaments between the kids, because Thomas has waited probably since he was, I don't know, 3. He would wait, no problem. Maggie, this is the first time I've ever seen her actually wait. Normally, what she wants, she takes, and she doesn't usually wait. So this is actually an immense amount of self-control for her. You did such a good job. Here you go. Here are your 2 marshmallows. All right. That is all I have for you. You did a good job. Do you have anything else you want to tell them?
The mountain. He got it wanted to see how far it could go.
She's really into telling jokes that are, you know, she has an interesting sense of humor. So, great. All right. Well, thank you, Max. Can you take your marshmallow and go get Thomas? Don't tell him anything about what we did, okay? You can surprise him after. Oh, he's ready. All right, go take your marshmallow and go see Daddy. Come sit down, Thomas. And I will say, obviously, these are not true experiments, and they're not conducted in a controlled setting. So we're just trying to show you what kids look like. All right, have a seat. All right, you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Hi, my name is Thomas.
And how old are you?
5.
6.
August 21st.
And so he is almost 6. So he's really kind of right in between the pre-operational and concrete operations. He's right on the border. What grade next year? He also is a pandemic kiddo. He did virtual kindergarten last year, which he did a great job in and learned so much. And next year we're going to real school, so that'll be a whole new adventure.
I can't wait.
You can't wait. You're going to do great. Okay, so we're going to play some games, all right? So let's do the conservation first. We'll do them roughly in the same order that we did with Maggie.
This is going to be fun.
All right, so is there more in this row, more in this row, or are they about the same?
Let me just do something. About the same.
Okay. Now, is there more in this row or more in this row, or are they about the same?
More this row.
Okay, why is there more in that row?
Because you spread them out.
Okay. So, he failed the task, but you can see he's kind of starting to get it, right? Because he could identify the motion that I did, although he made a mistake in terms of the actual answer of which one was more. All right. Our container. All right. Is there more in this one or more in this one, or are they about the same?
About the same.
Okay. Oh. What about now? Is there more in this one or more in this one, or are they about the same?
About the same.
Why are they the same?
Because you just put that one into a different tab.
Perfect. Okay, so he got this one right, which really shows how, depending on the type of conservation, kids can have different responses, right? So he was similarly able to describe the transformation, but for this one, he managed to convert that into the right answer. All right. One last conservation task. Okay. So, is there more in this one, more in this one, or are they about the same?
More. About the same.
Okay. All right. Whoops. Now, is there more in this one? More in this one, or are they about the same?
About the same. Yeah, you just will dig into a room-looking thing.
All right. So he got conservation of liquid and conservation of mass correct, but he got conservation of number wrong, which is not uncommon. And there's some evidence that if kids can't conserve 5, sometimes they can do it for 3 items. So it's kind of the cognitive capacity that they have. All right. We can play with Play-Doh later. All right. So next. So have a seat on your bottom. Set up our barrier.
Barrier.
Just something that's blocking our view. Stay on your side. All right. So tell me what you see.
I see
In front of you.
a whale, a unicorn, a rabbit, and a goat.
All right. Now get out and go around and let's switch seats. Sit here. Now tell me what you see.
I see a pig, a cow, and a seal. You see a whale, you see a whale, a unicorn, a rabbit, and a goat.
All right. Awesome. Let's switch seats again. Go out and go around. Okay. So you can see he did not make the mistake of egocentrism. It's a little hard because we have the camera here, so he can kind of look on that. But even when I asked him to focus on what was in front of him, he understands that what's in front of him is not what's in front of me. So he does not have that mistake, that problem of egocentrism. Right. So next one is theory of mind. So Thomas, what do you think is in this container?
Probably markers.
So obviously somebody cheated. You were supposed to be outside playing. I will tell you that he does demonstrate theory of mind pretty regularly, even when he hasn't been playing on someone else's session. All right, you're silly. What if? Oh, I've got a perfect solution. All right, let's do this. Okay, we're gonna take our bag of coins. Now, Maggie doesn't know that we put that in there. When she comes back in, what is she gonna think is in the container? All right, there we go. Demonstration of theory of mind, right? So he knows that Maggie didn't watch us change it, and so she's gonna still think there's markers in there, while he knows that there's actually coins in there. Good job. Okay, to 20 for me. I know you can count higher, but why don't you count to 20?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
All right. So clearly got that down. Doesn't have the same kind of mistakes as Maggie. It's been really interesting watching him learn math because in kindergarten he learned, addition and subtraction, but he started doing kind of simple multiplication and division just kind of on his own. He'll, say, oh, hey, if we have 3 of these and there's 5 of us, we'd end up with 15 and things like that. And it's really interesting to watch that process. Okay, I also wanted to see if you would read just a couple pages for us. Okay.
Pete that hat. A pet for Pete. Pete the cat. A pet for Pete. Pete is going to the pet store. He is going to buy get a pet. Pete was wants a bird, a hamster, or a. But then Pete sees a goldfish. That's what I want. He tells his mom.
All right, great job. That's all you have to do. You can read the rest to Maggie later, okay? Thank you for reading to us. That was awesome. So definitely was not reading when he started kindergarten, is reading now. So has that skill down. We're good on that. So you've done all of our tasks except for the last one.
I can easily do this one.
You can easily do this one. All right. Easy. So you know the drill. You can have 10, or if you wait, you will get 2.
Right.
Okay. You don't have to make a decision. We're just going to talk a little bit. So does anyone have any questions for Thomas? Comments? This can be questions about parenting or anything else. Specific demonstrations, any of the above. And so I think that part of the thing that makes this not very similar to these real life tasks is, you know, when you have the marshmallow test, in addition to it being 15 minutes long, there's also no distractions, right? They leave kids alone, entirely alone in a room. So it's very different than having people talking or asking or answering questions. So that is a big difference. And I don't know, is there anything you wanted to share with everyone?
Hang on. Let me sing it. Little one.
Oh, okay.
This is my lucky coin. It is an Indian penny.
All right.
It was from the year 1906.
All right, from the year 1906. All right. So in general, we wouldn't want distractions, like having him go get something, but you know. All right. What do you think? Are you ready for a second marshmallow? All right, you did a great job. Thank you so much for playing games with me.
You're welcome.
And I think that's all the demonstrations that I have. If anyone has any questions, I am happy to answer them. Otherwise, just make sure you turn in your sheets on the worksheet. So you'll do that instead of replying to each other's discussion forum posts, because really I used your suggestions to develop some of the activities today. And so instead of replying to each other, just fill in your observation worksheet and submit that. I created a separate assignment for that, but that'll be the last 2 points. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. Thank you all for attending.
Bye.